Grace and peace, everybody. We're back in the building. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be looking at the, for lack of a better term, the motivation behind Candace Owens and her quote-unquote investigation, her expose, her deep dive into Erika Kirk. And I just want to bring up this young lady, fantastic content creator. I'll make sure I leave her link down in the description. She's on X, really crushing it. So let's hear what Natalie has to say. Let's go.
You to everybody out there as we get closer to being finished with this series. It was only supposed to be 3 episodes, but because they posted Savannah's baby, I was like, oh no, you're getting a whole extra week. You don't post infants on the internet. You just don't post infants on the internet. And then I added another episode because somebody called Skylar and left a message. So this is how I play. We can go a whole year. I can do a whole year. Brigitte got a season 2 because she sued me. Brigitte was supposed to just be an episode, and then she sent me a threat and she got a season. And then she sent me a lawsuit and she got a second season. So, and you know, that's where I'm at right now.
So there it is, you guys. Candace admitting from her own mouth that this is all about retribution and punishment and making people pay and getting eyes on her and getting clicks. And it is not a real or a serious investigation. With a serious investigation, you're not able to say, hey, you know what? You ticked me off, so I'm going to add another episode. I'm going to add more time to this investigation. I'm going to add a whole year. A real investigation doesn't work like that. You can't schedule out a real investigation. But you know what does work like that? Content making. The content machine works like that. Punishing people and getting payback can work like that, but not investigation of murders. Investigations of murders don't go, you know what, you upset me, so I'm going to add another week of episodes. You upset me, so I'm going to add another year. That is not the way that this works.
I agree.
You don't tease out, and this is what we've been saying from the beginning, you don't tease out information. If you truly have earth-shattering, groundbreaking information that implicates someone else in the murder of Charlie Kirk or exonerates the accused, you don't tease it out on your YouTube show week by week, day by day, saying tune in.
Dragging it.
And if you upset me, I'm going to make 10 more episodes. That's not how it works. But see, Candace has no evidence. She has no smoking gun. She has no evidence at all. She has no idea where she's going in this investigation, but she knows that it upsets the people that she doesn't like when she does this hit piece on Erika Kirk. So by golly, she's going to keep going because it upsets the people she doesn't like, because this is a woman scorned. This is a woman with a vindictive spirit. This is a woman with anger deep inside her. This is not a real investigation, you guys. That is not how this works.
And I'm only going to jump in real quick because she is cooking. I want to let her cook. But let me throw a little bit of salt in there. There's a little bit more Lowry's in there if I can. Not only that, but just because you have questions, just because you have issues and asking questions and you're jumping to those conclusions that you want to get to and you don't have proof, that's not an investigation either. But I don't think even what she's doing with Erika even qualifies as an investigation. It seems like just a muckraking. Like there's no, what's the purpose of it? If she didn't do anything related to Charlie Kirk's unaliving, what in the world are we doing? What is her grandfather's working for Quaker Oats? What's that got to do with anything? Her mom's second divorce, what's that got to do with anything? It has absolutely nothing. She just wants to bring up people's information and muckrake and embarrass them. That's all it is. Let's go.
When are you guys going to see it? This is not a real investigation. If Candace Owens really wanted justice for Charlie Kirk, she would be going to the authorities if she actually had any evidence. But as I've said previously in a post that I made, Candace has set herself up really well because she never actually has to provide any evidence, because she believes and she has planted and sown this seed so heavily in her audience that every single law enforcement agency is corrupt and we are run by a shadowy cabal and everyone is compromised. And so she never has to present evidence. And she can sit there and say, oh, I tried to present evidence. I tried to text someone at the FBI that France tried to murder me, but I never heard back. See, I told you they were corrupt. I told you. I told you they were corrupt. And so it's more evidence that they're all corrupt, right? Because nobody's working with Candace. The accused lawyers aren't calling up Candace. Everyone's in on it. Do you see how that works? So Candace never actually has to do anything. She can sit there and say, well, I have evidence, but they won't talk to me. No one will talk to me. I have the evidence, though. She doesn't have the evidence.
She doesn't.
She doesn't have the evidence. But she doesn't have to answer for that because she has put the blame on the fact that every single law enforcement agency in the country, without exception, is compromised and not friendly to this investigation. And so there is no end game here. There is no justice for Charlie Kirk because Candace Owens is not able to arrest, prosecute, charge anyone at all. And she doesn't trust law enforcement. She also doesn't have any evidence of anything. So
right.
That excuse, but because she doesn't trust law enforcement, she never has to fess up to the fact that, oh, I don't actually have anything to give to law enforcement. She can just sit there and tell you, oh, they're not trustworthy. So this is never going to end, you guys. This is never going to end in justice for Charlie Kirk when you have a podcaster who does not trust any law enforcement agency in the nation and who also does not have the authority to charge, to arrest, to convict, to prosecute anybody. Where is the justice for Charlie Kirk going to happen? It's not going to happen. But she's going to keep digging. She's going to keep digging into Erika Kirk and whoever else and then act like, oh, we're all scared. We're all terrified of it. I'm not terrified. I'm just disgusted. I'm not terrified by anything. I'm just disgusted. Absolutely. This is not Christian behavior. It's slander. It's sowing discord. It's boring too. I mean, this deep dive into Erika's bloodline. Whose family doesn't have weird stuff, innocuous stuff, shady stuff? Do we all know that our great-great-grandparents were squeaky clean people? Like, we don't. What does it have to do with who murdered Charlie Kirk? Like, this is deranged. But I've told you guys before that what she is trying to do, in lieu of actually presenting evidence, because she doesn't have any, she is trying to assassinate characters in a manner of death by 1,000 cuts. So by the end of this, she wants you to think that Erika Kirk is so shady and such a liar and that she's lied about so many things and she's done this thing and that thing way back in her past and her mother, who's her mother and her grandfather and everything else, that, oh, Erika must have had a hand in murdering Charlie Kirk. Maybe she didn't pull the trigger, but she must have had a hand in this. She must have let it happen at least, because look at how many times she's lied and look how weird this family is. It must have happened. That's not how investigations work. That's not how you prove that someone murdered someone or is implicated in a murder. But Candace can't prove that. And so she is intent on assassinating Erika's character and others, but Erika's the first and foremost, in a manner of death by 1,000 cuts. So that you sit there and you get inundated by all of this information about Erika and her family way back to Timbuktu. And you ignore and you forget the fact that you don't have any actual evidence tying Erika Kirk to wrongdoing. If Candace did, she would be a really bad person to not go to the authorities and to tease it out and to say, tune in tomorrow, and to say, I'm going to add 10 more episodes to this because you guys upset me. She's still a bad person for doing it because this is not a Christian spirit. But if she actually had evidence of who murdered Charlie Kirk, this would be such a nasty way to handle it. To tease it out for your own benefit in your own monetized episodes and then to add a few more under the guise of, oh, well, you guys ticked me off. She said right there the words game. That's how she plays. This is a game to her, you guys.
That's crazy.
And the only way it's ever going to end is if the people who take her seriously just tune her out and just stop. There is no end game here. There's no justice for Charlie Kirk. There's no evidence. And it is a psycho person who sits there and says, you upset me, so I'm going to add 10 more episodes or however many more episodes to my criminal investigation. That should be such a huge glaring red flag that this is not, in fact, a criminal investigation. This is a podcast. It's content.
I'm just going to jump in because she's doing a great job. It never was a criminal investigation. It was just an expose, a muckrake It was just an embarrassment fest. It was just to bring up all the salacial facts that she can find about Erika, proven or not proven, verified or not, that she can bring up and attach Erika's name to it. It's not criminal. There's nothing criminal that she's able to assert that Erika has done, because otherwise she would took it to the police. So really, this is nothing more than just slander. This is nothing more than just dragging somebody's dirty laundry out into the public square. And what's the goal of that? What's the aim of that? What's the solution? There is none.
It's nasty, dirty, gossipy, salacious, tabloid content, just like so many other podcasts and shows out there. And it's despicable, but it's content. It's not serious. I mean, it is serious. It's a grave matter, but it's not a serious criminal investigation. And I don't know why more people can't see that.
Shout out to Natalie Beesner. And she's over here on, not only on X, she's over here on Instagram as well as YouTube. And I'm gonna drop her link in the chat. I'll make sure her link is down in the bottom as well. But definitely go check her out. Support what she's doing. She does great deep dives into this topic. And I feel like definitely somebody that we should support. And I do want to make sure that we give her some shine, because what she's talking about is right on the money. Like, this is not an investigation, people. Wake up. This is not an investigation. This is slander, gossip, tabloid, dirty laundry airing, but it is not by any means of measure an investigation. There is no criminal investigation. This is just muckraking. My name is Jason. Let me know what you think about it. Comment down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you so much for hyping the video. And of course, I appreciate every one of y'all who've subscribed to the channel. We're getting closer to 100,000. I'm looking forward to celebrating with y'all real soon. Until then, everybody, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.